All right, everybody. The once-a-year event has occurred today. ContraPoints, arguably the #1 left tuber, has uploaded a new video. The Queen of BreadTube has returned. Now, you might remember the last time we, really had ContraPoints on our minds, when she was last relevant, was when she made a little bit of an oopsie that she burnt the bridge with Vaush over, and I also burnt the bridge with her over because I found her behavior to be pretty disgusting towards my friend. What ended up happening was Cat Black posted on Twitter, out of nowhere, literally unprompted, actually no, it wasn't unprompted. I should clarify, it wasn't unprompted. Following Vaush's joke tweet to JK Rowling, saying women try to be quiet challenge, whatever it was. I don't remember exactly what the tweet was. It was a misogynistic joke. The woke scold left jumped down his throat over this. And even many reasonable people on the left were like, I don't agree with the people attacking him, but I really think that joke was a bad move, really bad optics. And it's like, come on. This was the most milquetoast, clearly a lefty making fun of misogyny joke ever. But because, JK Rowling used it to play victim, you are now letting her play victim by basically lending credence to the fact, to the idea that this comment was actually genuinely misogynistic, right? It was very frustrating, but Cat Black was one of the figures who came out against Vaush on this. And in doing so, she decided to go on a long rant about how Vaush is doing a bunch of weird, attacking Vaush for his body. There was weird, attacking Vaush for his weight or whatever and stuff like that. She made a few, insults at Vaush's appearance, and then outed that they had sexted before. Out of nowhere, just outs that they'd sexted before, and goes into a bit of detail about that. So, that's pretty much sexual harassment as far as I'm concerned. If Vaush had outed that, I'm pretty sure he would have gotten destroyed for doing so. But for Cat Black, I guess it was fine, and ContraPoints came out to defend Cat Black, admitting she has no idea what the context is going into this, but just defended Cat Black because her and Cat Black were friends. Following all of that, Vaush ends up asking his fans, please, because now Contra has blocked him, please comment nicely below her videos telling her she's wrong, explain why she's wrong, and hopefully she'll see the light or whatever. Use kid gloves, I think is what he said. And Contra responds to this by saying this was encouraging harassment, and the bridge is burnt. And after that point, I unfollow ContraPoints, and I lose my ContraPoints follow as well. Not that it meant anything to me at this point. Vaush is my friend, he's a good friend of mine. We literally just shot some freedom pills at the range the other day. It was a fun-ass time. Here, look, I'll show you guys a video. It was a fun time. Here's the video of me shooting the Mosin for the first time. This is me on the right here. Here is Vaush, and here's our Australian friend that came to visit that we took to the range to teach how to shoot some freedom pills, goddammit. And yes, Vaush does wear this blazer every time he goes to the range. It's important. It's tactical. And it was a cold day. It was a miserably cold day. But yeah, this is me shooting the Mosin in the background. We had a good time shooting some freedom pills. Watch this.
On your target, and then move the gun until the iron sights align. But focus on the target, not on the sights themselves.
God, it's so satisfying shooting the Mosin. The M14 is pretty fun too. That's the M14. It's a Ruger. Vaush is a good friend of mine. We're homies. We're tight. We cool. And so, I'm not very happy with that call out, right? So I unfollowed ContraPoints, and I'm like, oof, you really fell off. Sorry to see it happen. It's happened to many creators before you, though, so it's not really that big a deal. That said, ContraPoints just uploaded today. And wouldn't you know it, after a year of not uploading and nearly a year since this drama happened, ContraPoints calls out Vaush in a video on JK Rowling. To be fair, JK, Vaush and what he said is relevant to the whole JK Rowling thing, and I think she could have even had a critical take. of his joke, like a mildly critical take, and it'd still be reasonable. But from what I'm hearing, and I haven't seen him yet, the things she said were a little bit lies, like just straight up lies. Like she literally just straight up lies about what Vaush said and what Vaush like wanted people to do. Like maliciously is the only assumption I can make. So kind of unfortunate that we've gotten to the point where I guess we're going to say Debate Bros streamer derangement is just like the most well-known and beloved video essayist content creators just find lying out their ass about the streamers that they hate. What a time to be alive. Another shoe. ContraPoints is Vaush's shoe on head. I just realized that. Holy sh*. ContraPoints is Vaush's shoe on head. Because Shoe on Head and I were friends, and we were cool, and then I called her out for something very valid in my opinion. She went nuclear and, you know, just called me like a pedo defender, and I blocked her. Or did she block me? I think she blocked me, actually. I unfollowed her and she blocked me. Sorry, yeah, she blocked me, I unfollowed her. It's very comparable. Anyway, so there's apparently 2 clips in this video in which ContraPoints talks about my boy. So let's take a look.
Will count as illiberal methods? I guess JK Rowling doesn't think so because she's never condemned it. In fact, when Dennis's Twitter suspension ended, she was right there to welcome him back. And she continues to retweet him. I've always been happy to acknowledge that angry trans people on Twitter sometimes take things too far. Things like death threats or misogynistic insults, I don't support that, and I've called it out in the past. Like when the leftist streamer Vaush, drama alert, who is not trans, tweeted at JK Rowling, "Women be quieter and start apologizing challenge." I called him out, tweeting, "Doing edgy ironic misogyny while defending trans people magnifies the grain of truth in what TERFs say about there being misogyny in trans activism." I tweeted that because I recognize that if people—
Do you know what she was responding to? Like what Vaush tweet she was responding to? Him responding to Cat Black sexually harassing him by outing that they had sexted. Like to the public. Out of nowhere for no reason. As a way to like add credibility to personal attacks. This is so condescending right off the bat. Yeah. I mean, ContraPoint's whole thing is being super sarcastic and condescending through the video. And usually it goes well, but when you know she's lying out of her ass about someone she now hates, you know, it doesn't really come off as good, does it? When you know she's lying and she does this kind of like, character.
People who are claiming to speak for you are doing so in a misogynistic way, and if you let that slide, you're going to wake up one day to find that you're in a misogynistic movement. Of course, Vaush took the criticism really well,
With respect, the arguments you give in your videos support my position here, and with all the associated context, this site really isn't the best place to speak on it with nuance. This is him, like, referencing the, like, how much there is going on with, like, the Cat Black thing that she's, like, defending. And he's saying, can we please take it to private so I can, like, explain everything in a DM, not in the very limited tweet cycle? It's, like, it's a whole, yeah. I'm extremely confident you'd agree with me if you were fully caught up. I was watching this all go down live as well, and it was, like, the most frustrating thing ever, because, like, everybody in the chat, everybody watching, including Vaush and me and everyone else there, knew that ContraPoints, like, principally agrees with Vaush on this, but was taking the opposing position to defend Cat Black, who was going against Vaush, and actively sexually harassing him. And when I say sexually harassing, I mean it's like, it's not considered sexually harassing when women do it, but if a man did it, it would be considered sexual harassment. That kind of sexual harassment. She replies, "It just strikes me as off that you're extremely confident you definitely know better than a trans woman who's been doing this activism for over a decade, and it kind of compounds my discomfort with the women be quieter tweet." So this is literally her woke scolding, saying, what do you mean as a cis man who's not trans, speaking over a woman who's done activism for over a decade? That woman who's done activism for over a decade, by the way, is Cat Black, who's actively sexually harassing him and, like, tweeting about his dick and stuff. Vaush says, "Is that really your argument? That I, by way of being cis, couldn't possibly be correct in a disagreement on trans issues with a trans person? I was always under the impression you valued the quality of the argument." Yep.
explaining that actually, I just didn't understand the complex tactical arguments for the moral necessity.
No, you didn't understand the context that Cat Black was sexually harassing him and using this as a way of like lobbing personal attacks at him, and you took her side because she's your friend.
Of being misogynistic to JK Rowling, and then he accused me of cancel culturing him while at the same time literally telling his followers to publicly shame me.
The more of you are in the replies being like, that's not what's happening right here. Like, this is...
So, listen to what he's actually saying in this clip, and look at what she put on screen. Yes, I took this clip from the FD Signifier video because I couldn't be bothered to find it elsewhere. She clipped this from the FD Signifier video, which was a clipped-together hit piece. There is an industrial complex of these goddamn video essayist lefty streamers that despise every genuinely effective and sincere, live streamer because they resent that we're able to put out content more frequently than them. I bet they hate us for the same reason that they hate reaction channels. Or not they do, but that a lot of content creators hate, even good reaction channels that actually add to the content. Like, they see it as they see streamers as below them. Yeah, it's such a soft boy circle jerk. It really does feel like an industrial complex of content creators that all hate you because of the content that you make, not because of the things you say or what you believe, the type of content you make. And they just see you as lesser and lower than them because of it. And yeah. Anyway, so what FD Signifier added here that ContraPoints includes is Vaush on stream telling his followers to harass another creator, ContraPoints, into taking his side after one of his many self-induced controversies. Self-induced controversy of getting sexually harassed by another content creator online. I'm telling you, this is a genuine Squad W moment.
And if you let that slide, you're going to wake up one day to find that you're in a misogynistic movement. Of course, Vaush took the criticism really well, explaining that actually, I just didn't understand the complex tactical arguments for the moral necessity of being misogynistic to JK.
This is also clearly a joke title. This is literally every person who just hates a content creator deciding they're going to take an obviously joke title seriously. If I made a title that was Ben Shapiro destroys the left with facts and logic, and it's very clearly sarcastic because I'm about to destroy Ben Shapiro, that people who hate me will read that title and be like, well, looks like Zan's a Ben Shapiro fan now, really saw this coming. And then when someone says, actually that title is a joke, they'll reply, well, it's really telling that I was able to believe it was real. It's really telling that I thought he'd do something like that. They'll say that when they get proven wrong. Anyway, she's about to play the clip here. Notice how the clip of what he's saying isn't what they're saying that he's saying.
Rowling. And then he accused me of cancel culturing him while at the same time literally telling his followers to publicly shame me.
The more of you are in the replies being like, that's not what's happening right here. This is necessary, okay? Publicly shame her into changing her mind on this.
Then bringing up my past struggle with addiction.
Move you off this site and into...
She's literally... Wait. So, Natalie says, because it's maddening to watch you pose as the savior of the transgenders, then do edgy misogyny in the name of that, and finally melt down when a trans woman who knows more than you about this criticizes you for it. She's doing the identity politics thing here that literally every person who's attacked ContraPoints over and literally pushed her into opioid addiction because of the harassment is doing to Vaush right now to protect her friend. Vaush replies, is this not verbatim what the woke skull type said to you, almost down point to point, the people who drove you off this site and into opioid addiction? It is completely a valid point. She has made her addiction and her depression that led her into it completely public. It is completely valid to bring it up when making an argument like this, especially when the person that she is defending is sexually harassing you. How dare he point out how I'm acting exactly like the people who persecuted me to the point of a mental breakdown. Yeah, ContraPoints. True! Yeah, she really fell off. Glad I got ahead on, unfollowing her a year ago. Whoa, I'm so out of the loop. Yeah, a pillow. ContraPoints is done. It's done. ContraPoints is done. It's Jover. I felt like the old age of, BreadTube, the React, or not the React, the video essay content, or at least the original ones, are going to kind of die out mostly out of their own actions, them just going super deranged and like you pushing away every other content creator that agrees with them and just becoming small little islands of their own little niche community that aren't really relevant to the outside political space. I think it's going to be, like, going forward, streamers and live content creators on the left that are going to be really, pushing the left tube, if you want to call it that, whatever left tube is, kind of community into the future. I think that's going to be, like, the next wave of it. It's going to be, like, React streamers like me, Vaush, Demon Mama, Shark300. And Depilla, you make video essays too, but you also make React content as well. And H-Bomb. H-Bomb's cool too. I think H-Bomb's eternal. He's just continually based. At the very least, he just doesn't really get involved. If he has negative opinions on creators, he just keeps them to himself because he seems to be a nice guy.
I don't want to bring up the substance abuse.
So that pretty much confirms.
Wait, he didn't want... Wait, he decided, like, while typing out the tweet, like, maybe I don't want to bring this up because that seems a little bit rude. Wait, he's live streaming. He's live streaming. You can't shit on someone for something they decided not to do. He decided not... Okay, that was shitty.
To me that Vaush doesn't actually care about advocating for trans people and just uses trans rights as a pretext to act like a fucking dingus. I won't tell you.
Well, there we go. Vaush doesn't actually care about trans rights and just uses trans rights as a pretext to act like a dingus. She's literally talking like Thought Slime now, too. Isn't it crazy that once these people get, like, once they get infected with the VDS, I guess, the live streamer derangement syndrome, LDS, they start talking like they go nanners. They've been infected with the nanners. She's talking like Thought Slime now. And then there's apparently another clip I should see as well. All right, this is another clip that apparently mentions Vaush.
So to wrap this up,
relevant.
Is the backlash against JK Rowling a witch hunt? Unequivocally, no. It's very thoroughly deserved. But I will say this. A movement can't get along without a devil. And across the whole political spectrum, there's a misogynistic tendency to choose a female devil. Whether it's Anita Bryant, Hillary Clinton, Marie Antoinette, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, or JK Rowling. And there's always going to be people who seize on any opportunity to be misogynistic.
Oh my god. She's actually arguing that JK Rowling has a point to own Vaush. Dude, Vaush is so based on trans issues, he makes trans people transphobic to hate him. Trans people have to be transphobic in their arguments to hate him. It's extraordinary. I'm ContraPoints. Rowling had a point. Okay, so I guess he just takes every opportunity to be misogynistic. Honestly true. All of us debate streamers hate women. And you know what? If there's any more evidence that trans women are if there's no better evidence that trans women are women, then ContraPoints being such a woman with this video.